Now it's going beyond that. Let us begin with this Nedu's conversation. A man who once curated conversations, inviting guests into a space presumed to be one of dialogue, only to whisper daggers behind their backs. And when VeryDarkMan, a figure unafraid to wield truth as a weapon, exposed Nedu's hypocrisy, the duality of a host who praised guests to their faces but ridiculed them offstage, we were forced to ask, what does it mean to wield influence? Is it a tool for connection or a mask for manipulation? But the revelation now grew darker. Nedu, who is being entrusted with funds meant to uplift Nigerian students through scholarship, allegedly diverted those resources. And when confronted, he denied. He even threatened lawsuit against VDM. Yet the organizations themselves has emerged, their testimony a damning confirmation of what VeryDarkMan was saying. Money flowed to Nedu, not towards futures, but into a void of mismanagement. And here we must we must press Nedu with questions that probably would pierce his soul. What compels a person to betray the trust of those who look up to him? When you stood before a microphone in your interview, did you see a platform or did you see a weapon? How do you even reconcile the scholarship that never reached desk with the luxury or the luxurious lifestyle you display? Now, for me, I think Nedu's story is not isolated. It is a parable of a culture where influence is commodified and empathy is kind of performative. They perform it like a movie. But the plot kind of thickens with the entrance of Mr. DeiOne himself, a man who introduced as Nedu's ally and VeryDarkMan's adversary. So DeiOne, who sat on Nedu's podcast, clocked in the guise of defending some kind of stuff while using style to dismantle VDM based off his own logic, a masterclass in duplicity. So let us pose some questions to DeiOne. What's allegiance drives you? Is it what or the thrill of alliance with power? You want to ally with power. When you attack a man like VeryDarkMan who exposes corruption, do you fear his light or the shadows he might reveal in you and those other people? If Nedu's actions are now laid bare before you, will you continue to weaponize loyalty or will you recalibrate your moral compass? So this is the work of VeryDarkMan, to scrape away the glitter from all these Nigerian idols, revealing the rust that is beneath them, with crusade that forces us to ask, why do we, reflexively kind of villainize the whistleblower while excusing the crimes they expose? But let us be clear on this. This is not merely about three men. It is about every time we click to follow people, we grant them power. Every time we excuse corruption because it wears a celebrity face, we become a complicit. So Nigerians, we must ask ourselves, when will we stop reserving our scrutiny for politicians and start demanding accountability from the influencers who shape our minds? How many scholarships must vanish into private pockets before we see that exploitations wears many kind of masks, not only on political space? What does it say about our values when we prioritize entertainment over ethics, clout over character? So to those who dismiss this as a mere drama, remember, the rot in a nation begins not only in hall of power, but in the heart of those we admire. I think VeryDarkMan Exposed is a call to awaken, and we need to answer, because by demanding transparency, by celebrating integrity over influence, and by remembering that every hero we uncritically idolize today could be the villain of tomorrow. In the end, the question is not whether Nedu or DeiOne will face consequences. No. The question is, will we, the people, continue to influence, to fuel their influence? Or will we become the judges of the values they claim to uphold? I believe the choice is always going to be ours, and we have to choose wisely. With that being said, DeiOne, I hope you have been able to see for yourself with what is coming up and to know that Nedu is not clean. And I'm not saying it has to be perfect. What we are saying, what they are saying about Nedu, have you seen? And I've proposed a debate for you if you still think that VeryDarkMan is the bad guy. And if you think there are a lot of wrongs, see, a lot of contact comes to me, a lot of calls. I receive a lot of calls about what's going on between this. I know what's going on in certain sense, but let's use based of what is appearing in front of us to dictate what's true. But in reality, DeiOne, if you still want to debate, the door is still open for you. Don't debate VDM. Debate me. Anything you have to say about VDM, debate. Even the fact is this, you can ask 20 questions and I'll ask you only 10 questions. On the debate, nobody's going to filter anything. Let it be live, public. Let the world see us for who we are and what you are. And let's see if those who support VDM, maybe they are dumb or not. With that being said, Nedu, I never believed your career will be over, but it seems it will. Who God know if you catch, God never created.